Oh, there you are, YouTube. Do subscribe if you're interested, but also no pressure. Hey, you know what? It is getting quite close to July. What happens in July? Well, Barnes & Noble, they have that 50% off Criterion sale, and I'm going to be participating in that. And I figured as a way to lead in, I'm just going to start peppering these in because I got some other videos I got to make also, so it's not going to be every day I'm doing this yet anyway. But to lead into that sale, how about we take a look at some of my Criterion collection and do so by ranking the covers. So we're going to do a random ranking, a random pulling of Criterion titles to rank their covers, because I haven't seen all of my Criterion films yet, and I'm pretty behind on watching them at this point now that I have been buying them more often. So yeah, I really do got to catch up. But anyway, let's get to picking these. I don't have my entire collection over here of my Criterions. They're kind of farther that direction side of the room, but I do have my newest purchases or the newer ones I acquired over here. So let me grab those. 1, 2, 3, top 3. Let's see what we got. All right, and all right. Okay. So first, we're starting off with Paper Moon. This movie is very cool to me because it has a very awesome Oscar stat in it. Some Oscar history here with Tatum O'Neal right there. She is the youngest person to ever win an Oscar. And I don't know if something like this will ever happen again. It kind of seemed like this was something of the past where children were nominated. I mean, I don't know. It does happen. I mean, Haley Joel Osment, I guess that was kind of a long time ago. He was nominated, right? I feel accurate in saying that. And Quvenzhané, when she was nominated. But I'm trying to think, have there been any other children semi-recently that were nominated? Oh, Abigail Breslin. So anyway, but yeah, she's the youngest person to have an Oscar. Isn't that awesome? Competitive Oscar winner there. And this is her dad right here, Ryan O'Neal. You may know him from, darn it, wish I could come up with this right away. You know, the Kubrick film. Oh my goodness, why can't I think of the title? Ah, darn it, almost had it. Anyway, yeah, you may know him. Didn't he have a show also? I think he had a reality show. Was Farrah Fawcett on it too? I remember seeing him and Tatum, but I feel like they had a reality show together. But yeah, I really want to see this. Look at that. We got a black and white film here and cover as well, showcasing that, which is nice. This is a 4K, but yeah, I have not watched it yet, but I really want to, especially because of that cool piece of Oscar history that we're looking at there. Oh, but wait, we're here to look at the covers. So what do we got here? We see the difference in stature here, and he's bending over to try and meet her at her level a little bit, but he's still above. So that still kind of gives the authority figure of the father there. I mean, I know that much about it. Daughter, father. I think that's the part of the movie. I mean, they are in real life, so I assume that's how it is in the movie also. What do we got here? Okay, we got a briefcase here in the middle showing some sort of what looks like an exchange, perhaps, or maybe a fight of who wants to be in charge of holding that. And then we have this really strong horizon here with the 1-point perspective going on with the pathway, the road there. And got the vanishing point right there. Some trees there. Are a tree? Is that leaves or flowering tree? I don't think it's a flowering tree. What's she holding here? See, the stickers are kind of getting in the way, but there's something there. Eye contact, yes, between the two of them. So we have an implied line between the two. And then in this unique font here, it says Paper Moon. I don't even know what that means. I don't know what that means in relation to this film. Do we want to add this, the color portion of the the film here. I mean, not of the movie, but like the spine, that color spine and black and white spine over here. So, I mean, I think it's cool packaging. I assume this is a portion of a still from the film. Could be publicity imagery. A lot of times when it comes to Criterion, I do prefer them to do original designs, but, you know, sometimes they pull directly from the film, and that's cool too. Okay, next we got ourselves 8.5. Now, I have seen this movie, but it's been a long time, unfortunately. So just how this one was wrapped and had some stickers on it, and I wasn't going to open it here. This one has a sticker on it because I got this secondhand. Did I buy this, or did I get it from my buddy Mike, who bought it from Disc Replay? I can't remember. Either I got it or he did, and then he gave it to me. Mike is a YouTuber also. His channel, I always mess it up. Okay, it's like Gray 1951 Media Channel. Gray 1951 Media Channel. 8.5. I have seen this. I wasn't that into it, but the time I saw it, the types of movies I was more into were not this. So I could imagine me rewatching this and being more into it. But I also remember watching 9 and being like, "Whoa, 9 sucks." But this one I liked more than 9. I did like a lot more than 9. But this was still just like not my scene, right? But I guess I wouldn't say that it was like, oh, I thought it was bad. It was just like, it wasn't my scene, you know? You know, if you like punk rock and you walk into a country western bar, you're not like, this sucks. I mean, maybe you are, but you might just be like, nah, this is not for me, right? So that's kind of where I was at with this. But here, let's look at, I like the striking text here, the title right there, nice and large, very graphic, crisp. Probably the crispest part of everything, because everything else has sort of that film grain. Federico Fellini, I guess, looks kind of crisp, but also, what is that color? It's kind of like a type of red, like a wine almost. And then here, in focus, in the foreground to the left, we have our main character. I wish we could see his face and the expression he's making. Let's see if it's in this booklet anywhere, because if it is, that could help us out. Not seeing it, not seeing it, not seeing it, not seeing it. Yeah, they're not going to double up. But he looks like Anthony Bourdain right there, doesn't he? And then over here we have these individuals. I don't remember this shot specifically from the film, like what's going on, but it looks like a chain link arm chain here, Hands Across America or something going on here. It's not that, but you know, that's what it makes me think of. I got 5 on it. So yeah, they are out of focus. They are blurry. Things are more textured back there, as you can see. Not to say he's not. He has like detailed texture in film grain, and that sort of out of focus softness to the images here. But yeah, there's a grid. Did anybody notice the grid in the background? That's interesting. I don't remember the film enough to know the importance of that. It's also happening on the back there, if you can see. I don't know. This is my favorite part, though. How detailed that is, the design, the line work within it. It kind of reminds me of like the decorative portions of like dollar bills and things like that. Very cool. So yeah, you know, a good showcase of foreground and background sort of thing going on here with a striking title. Where here, to me, the title kind of gets lost here. I almost forget to look at it. But I do like the font. But I do here too, but I kind of lose it here. All right, next we got ourselves. This one I bought because of the cover. Time Bandits, right here. Because of the lenticular quality, not necessarily the design, but I do like the design here. We got a ship over here, and then what looks like some sort of near pyramid structure. And look, we also have a grid happening here. through some linear perspective happening. Remember when we saw we saw a grid here, but this one wasn't showcasing any perspective. And then we saw the linear perspective happening here, and then it's also happening here. So what is that? Is that supposed to make us recall maps or globes that have, you know, those lines on them, those grid lines? Perhaps that's what that's about. I could see that, but it also looks like ceiling tiles, right? Because look right here. This looks like a ceiling tile has been, well, even here, a ceiling tile dropped out, and then Time Bandits is either dropping down or rising up into that hole. Same thing here. This pyramid looks like it is going into that hole. And then we have some empty holes over here as we get closer to the horizon, which has a beautiful sunset or sunrise happening there. It looks a little more sunsetty to me. This is a Terry Gilliam film. Not always into his stuff. Sometimes I speak harsher about it than I probably actually care, but I don't know. I'm a very mild opinion person, so sometimes I feel like I gotta be a little extra opinionated on things, and so I give that to Terry Gilliam. But yeah, I was just like, man, why did I get this? The cover. I haven't even seen Time Bandits. I haven't seen Time Bandits. Have I? No. I've seen, what have I seen of his? Not Time Bandits. But I was like, yeah, I got to get, like, Criterion's doing a lenticular. I got to get it. And then I didn't get it forever. And then I was like, all right, I'm finally biting, finally getting it, finally picking it up. So yeah, I do like this, especially because it has a 3D quality. So not only are we getting, you know, like a little bit of foreground, middle ground, background sort of thing going on here, but there's like, we're getting like true depth because of the 3-dimensional quality that the lenticular gives. It's very awesome, I think. Like, look at that. Oh man, that looks so cool. Boom. Look at that. I'm going to look at that in person. It almost looks better on my camera. It's like we're watching the ship move. Also, look at that. The boat is on someone's head, and we have some lines right here in the water, waves in the water, telling us that he's moving forward. This is not a stagnant ship, just anchored down. This is saying there is movement happening here. That's good to know. It's almost like Truman Showy. It makes me think of the Truman Show when I see these, what to me look like ceiling tiles, but I'm sure they're probably meant to, again, make us think of the globe. But I will watch this eventually. I can imagine growing into the artistry, the visual aesthetics, and being like, you know what? I can appreciate the craft. I can. But anyway, all right. How are we gonna do this? Whoops, grabbed the wrong one. There we go. The covers here. Actually, this might be the ranking. Look, we got 2 black and white. This one is in color when it comes to the cover. I love this because it's also made for the poster, for the cover. I don't think it's Criterion design, because I believe this is a bit of old promotional artwork. Correct me if I'm wrong. But the lenticular, I believe, is new in for Criterion, but I feel like I've seen this artwork before. Like, is it like maybe a classic promotional? Maybe it was on like the VHS. Maybe it was on, I don't know. I feel like I know this prior to Criterion, and yeah. So that does not feel new. And then here we got what look like just film stills, right? I also, just holding all of these up, I'm immediately drawn to this just because it is, you know, handmade. These are stills. I like this more. I think it's more striking than this. I kind of lose this, but I do like the font happening here. But also just holding these up together, I like the contrast that we're seeing here more so than here. Everything is very middle, but maybe that holds a purpose based off of the based on the story or the actual film. I haven't seen it yet, but these middle values where here we have extreme lights, extreme darks happening, and then middle values happening in other areas. So, but here this is almost all middle, right? So I think that's another reason I'm going to put that one at the end. So this, again, I'm not ranking the movies. I've only seen one of them. I've only seen 8.5. But I'm going to go ahead and put Time Bandits #1, also that lenticular. So for a couple of reasons. Again, it's handmade, maybe not new to Criterion, but still an artist made that draws. And then the lenticular also gives a little bit of an extra bonus. And we're going to go with 8.5, and then Paper Moon there at the end. But my question to you is, what do you think of these movies? And if you've seen them, let me know what you think of them, and even rank them based off of you know, the films themselves. But here today, I ranked them based off of the covers. So if you would like to rank them based off of the covers, I'd love to know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and perhaps we'll see you tomorrow for more Pure Hangout.